Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 12th biology students, and this is for 18th January 2021. As we all understand that we are revising the entire syllabus. As part of it, we revised almost 3 times now the entire chapter, of course the 11 chapters that is meant for your batch. Initially, I gave you the notes, revision notes for each chapter. Second, I trained you in assertion and reasoning. Third, I am training you in test papers. Each chapter I am giving one test paper so that you are familiar with the type of questions. So this test paper includes multiple choice, 1-mark questions, 2-mark questions, 3-mark questions, as well as 5-mark questions. So you have an idea after facing this test paper that what type of questions will come from that particular chapter. Okay, that is the purpose. So I'm going to read the questions and then at the end we will go for the answers. Now what you have to do, along with me read the questions, keep a paper with you, start writing the answers. And when we come for the answer session, compare your answers with the answers that I am giving. So you know where you stand in this chapter. So here we go. Question 1. Anther is 4-sided structure consisting of 4 theca, Microsporangia, Pollen grains, Megasporangia. Right? Question 2. Statement 1. Seed is the basis of agriculture. Statement 2. Dehydration and dormancy of mature seed is crucial for storage of seeds. Statement 3. Seeds of rice and wheat remain viable for several years at normal condition. Now, A. Statement 1 and 3 are correct. B. All statements are correct. Three statements. C. Statement 1 and 2 only correct. And of course, statement 2 and 3 are correct. Next, the most important one, assertion and reasoning type question. Assertion. Ovule develops into mature seeds and ovary develops into fruits. Seems to be correct. Yes. Reason. The fruits that develop only from ovary are called true fruits. Both assertion and reason are correct. Assertion and reason both are incorrect. Assertion is incorrect, but reason is correct. Assertion is correct, but reason is incorrect. So just go through it and arrive at an answer. Which of the following plant is not pollinated by water? So Lotus in the water, Vallisneria water, Justera, Hydrilla. So you see, you have to identify the plant which is not in the water. Question 5. Wind and water pollinated flowers are not very colorful and do not produce nectar because they are not pollinated by biotic factors. B. Color is not necessary for attention of bees. Wrong. Insects are not to be attracted. And D. The color has been fed up. Question 6. Can an unfertilized apomictic embryo sac give rise to a diploid embryo? If yes, then how? Question 7. If the chromosome number of a plant species is 20 chromosome number, what would be the chromosome number in its pollen grains and endosperm cells? Okay, pollen grain, endosperm cells. Question 8. Write the name of structure only through pollen tube enters within the embryo sac. Next, question 9. Write the name of condition in which pollen grains mature prior to stigma in bisexual reproduction. Compatibility clue. Question 10. Identify the types of flowers shown in A and B. So this is A, this is B. Which out of the two will produce an assured seed set? So clistogamous flowers. Okay, just see. Question number 11. How many haploid cells are present in a mature female gametophyte of a flowering plant? Name them. Haploid, n number. Okay, n number of cells. What is apomixis and write its importance. Describe the structure of pollen grain and the process of its germination. Write neat diagram explaining very important question. 7-celled 8-nucleate nature of the female gametophyte. What develops into microspore mother cell MMC in a flower? Trace the development of the cell into pollen grain which is ready for germination. Draw a labeled figure by mature pollen grain. Okay, now come to the answers. Now you compare now your answers with this. Take some time and come to this session. Question 1. Microsporangia. Explanation. The anther is a tetra, means 4. Tetragonal structure consisting of 4 microsporangia located at the corners, 2 in each lobe. Microsporangium develops to form pollen sacs, inside which pollen grains are formed. Statement 1 and 2 are correct because seed is the basis of agriculture. Before storage, seeds are dehydrated in sunlight. That's why farmers put it in sunlight. Seeds remain dormant till the favorable condition is present. Seeds of wheat and rice remain viable only few years. Both assertion and reason are correct, as I said. Ovule develops to form seeds and mature ovary develops into fruits. If someone asks you what is the fruit, your answer should be matured ovary or developed ovary. So the fruits that develop only from ovary are called true fruits, and those who contain other parts of flower are called pseudo fruits or false fruits. Question number 4, lotus. Explanation. Lotus is an aquatic plant, but the flower of lotus is outside and above the water surface. So it cannot be pollinated by water. It is generally pollinated by insects. Question 5. Insects are not to be attracted. Wind and water pollinated flowers are generally not colorful and not produce nectar. Color and nectar of flowers are meant for attracting insects for pollination. Question 6. Yes, if the embryo develops from the cells of nucellus or integument, it will be diploid, as nucellus and integuments are diploid. Of course, pollen grains n number 10 and endosperm 3n, so 3 into 10, 30. Micropyle, question number 8, is a minute opening in the ovule of the seed plant through which the pollen tube usually enters. Now the diagram is there. Look at that. Stigma, style, ovary wall, ovule. So this is ovary. And the section of this TS of embryo sac reveals these 3 antipodal cells and then central cell, the central apparatus we say, 2 synergids and 1 ovule, and this is the micropyle. Look at that small narrow gap, and funicle is there, integuments are there for protection. Next, protandry is the condition in which an organism begins life as a male and then changes into a female. Look at that, protandry. The condition of flowers whose male parts mature before the female ones. Now the diagram based question, question number 10. A. Chasmogamous flower, cleistogamous flower. Cleistogamous flowers produce assured seed set. And how to remember cleisto? Closed flower. So closed flowers, cleistogamous flower. Question number 11. 7 cells. How to count these 7 cells? Antipodals 3, secondary nucleus 1, synergids 2, and egg cell 1. So 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. This is 7 cell. And I said apomixis, a technical word, very important one in this chapter. Production of seeds without fertilization. Production of seeds without fertilization. Hybrid seeds can be cultivated with the help of apomixis. It is still at research stage, but if experiments are successful, then it may help in increasing the yield of better variety of crops. Let's hope for the best. Next, structure of the pollen grain. Pollen grains are generally spherical and are about 25 to 50 micrometers in diameter. It has an outer layer exine and inner layer intine. Remember exine, very very important. Mature pollen grain contains a bigger vegetative cell and small generative cell. Germination of pollen grain, the process of development of pollen tube is called germination. Hydration of stigma results in elongation of tube cells into the pollen tube. Pollen tube then grows towards the ovule for further process. This is the one. So you have got single cell one, functional megaspore. Question number 14, of course, we are answering. Then it breaks, undergoes mitosis, forms a 2 nucleate stage, and that breaks into 4 nucleate stage, and micropolar end is there. And then 4 becomes 8 nucleate. Again, once it becomes 8 nucleate, 3 migrate to antipodals in the north pole. 2 polar nuclei will be there. That's called egg apparatus. Central cell, and egg with the 2 synergids. So 3 plus 2 plus 3. That's how the 8 nucleate stays. 7-celled 8s, because these polar nuclei is considered as one cell. So 7 cells and nuclei 8. Question number 15, very important one. Sporogenous cell divide and ultimately transformed into microspore mother cells, MMCs. Microspore mother cells develop an internal layer of callose which breaks the plasmodesmal connections among themselves. The separated mother cells round off and undergo meiosis to produce tetrads of haploid microspores or pollen grains. So immature pollen grain section, you can see first 2 things very prominently: generative cell and vegetative cell. The bigger one is vegetative cell, generative small. Then you can see tube nucleus, tube cell or vacuoles, and exine, sporopollenin, remember? Yes, intine, and of course germ pore. So these are the labeling, and you must know the importance of each labeling. So this is how we need to answer, and you have an idea how to answer even 5 mark questions. But basis is draw beautiful